Yo, it's your boy Young Josh Wuha, and welcome to my Hell in a Cell predictions and discussions video for WWE Hell in a Cell, the pay-per-view happening this Sunday. One of the main reasons, if you've seen my channel updates slash intro, is that a reason for starting this channel was to make these prediction videos, discussion videos, basically talk about something that I love a lot and really passionate about, and that's WWE and wrestling in general. So very excited to finally do a discussions video on the channel about a pay-per-view coming up. So Hell in a Cell has kind of just flown under the radar. I'm not super ecstatic looking forward to this pay-per-view because of the fact that Super Showdown is happening 2 weeks after Hell in a Cell, or 3 weeks, I'm not sure. They've kind of had to try and build that while building Hell in a Cell, and in doing so, Hell in a Cell, I don't know, it doesn't feel like there's much weight to it, but I feel like it could still be a very entertaining show for sure. To be honest, I think looking at the card, it will definitely be very entertaining, but I wouldn't say I'm hyped for the consequences thereof, because it's the same thing that happened with Backlash and the Greatest Royal Rumble. They're trying to build two pay-per-views at once, but not two pay-per-views that are happening in the same weekend, but two pay-per-views that are happening one, and then 2 weeks later the other one's going to happen, or 3 weeks later. And it just made Backlash fall flat because they couldn't really build for Backlash. They were just throwing random matches together, but they had built a bit more for this, undoubtedly so. Good couple of the matches have been well built, so we'll see how this goes. So if you guys are hyped for Hell in a Cell, and just looking forward to everything, looking forward to my predictions, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, as well as leave your predictions for the matches down below. So I don't know if there's a pre-show. Looked online and I haven't heard about any of the pre-show matches, and normally on these lower tiered pay-per-views there's maybe only one match on the pre-show, so it probably won't be much of a big deal. No championships are being defended on pre-shows as far as I'm aware. I have not watched 205 Live. I watched half of last week's episode, and then I haven't watched this week's episode yet at the time of recording this, so I'm not sure if they've announced the Cruiserweight Championship to be defended. I know that it's being defended at not Greatest Royal Rumble, at Super Showdown to Buddy Murphy, which will be a good place to give up the title to Buddy Murphy, in my opinion. And I love Cedric Alexander, he's an awesome champion. But yeah, so not sure about the pre-show, so we're just going to go through the match card. So firstly, we've got our Smackdown Tag Team Championship match. The New Day, obviously the current champions, defending against Rusev Day, which is, I think, as far as I'm aware, it's their first time going for a tag team championship as the team Rusev Day, which is interesting. New Day very much been on a roll, and I'm glad that, I know Eric Rowan got injured, and then that's the reason why they didn't have their rematch, but I'm glad that the New Day toppled Bludgeon Brothers. It didn't make sense to me. I actually would have preferred the Bar to topple them, or Sanity, because those are two teams that hadn't been completely destroyed by the Bludgeon Brothers, but I like the way that they booked the New Day, overcoming this monstrous team, they persevered and tried and had to literally go to other ends, that limit breaker elbow drop through the table, and then at SummerSlam when Xavier Woods did the limit breaker elbow drop from the top rope to the outside. That's wild. Xavier Woods, I literally started when I first started watching WWE again, and obviously I hadn't been exposed to, when I stopped watching, Kofi Kingston was still SOS Kofi, back in the day. And so, but I had heard of New Day, obviously, and I was Kofi, I always loved Kofi. He was actually one of my favorites back in the day. Big E is cool, I get his point, but I was what is the point of Xavier Woods? When I first started watching again, he wasn't really used in the matches all too much. But started watching a lot more Up, Down, Down. Great YouTube channel for sure. And he's just my favorite. He's literally my favorite to watch out of the three. I probably prefer watching him to Big E, and I'd say he's on par with me in terms of my favorite, with being Kofi. He's probably more my favorite just because I've gotten used to his personality watching Up, Down, Down videos. So big fan of Xavier Woods. I actually want this match to be Xavier Woods and Big E would be a nice combo, because Kofi and Xavier Woods won the titles on SmackDown as far as I'm aware, because Big E was a bit injured, I think, so his ribs were a bit bruised. So that'll be an interesting combo to have Big E versus and Xavier Woods, because it's like speed and strength, like Rusev and Aiden English. So just a bit of the story then. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking about them. In terms of Rusev Day, it's an interesting story because Rusev and Aiden English had that whole like turmoil in the group thing, and then I thought they were gonna get rid of Aiden English and make Rusev go alone, which I don't think would have helped either of them. I think it would have hurt Aiden English more, but I didn't think it would have helped Rusev by any way. So I'm glad that they've resolved it, and I'm also quite happy with the story that they're telling. Just brief summary then of the story is Paige, the general manager of SmackDown, who's a pretty good general manager. I thoroughly enjoy SmackDown a lot more than Raw at the moment, but I think everybody does. She always does these SmackDown Tag Team Championship tournaments, which I really like. Unless there's a story brewing, don't just throw random people at the belt. Like, make them earn it. Like, I like that. That's a cool concept. And who was it? It was a triple threat tag team tournament where the Bar won the first triple threat tag team match, and then Rusev Day won the next one, and then Rusev Day beat the Bar. And the way that Rusev Day beat the Bar was awesome. Like, Sheamus went for the brogue kick, and Aiden English and Rusev was the legal man, and Aiden English ran in there and shoved Rusev out the way to take the brogue kick to himself, and then Rusev, I think, hit him with the Machka kick, and that was it. Like, that was really cool. It almost like put a good full stop at the end of their like, is Aiden English actually helping storyline that they were doing. Like, that was like, okay, I like that. It like went full circle. I don't think it's done. I think they're probably gonna make Aiden English do something stupid in this match. I hope he doesn't. But in terms of who I think is going to win, I know this is a bit long-winded here, but I think New Day is going to win. They just got the titles. I don't see them giving it up anytime soon. I would be happy with Rusev Day winning, to be honest. I don't have any issues thereof, but I do think New Day is going to win for sure. Next match, Raw Tag Team Championships. Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Straight up, I'm fairly certain Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre are going to win. I don't see them putting all the bolts on the Shield. At least not right now. Yeah. It wouldn't make sense to me. They're already building up Dolph, Drew, and Strowman. And if the main event ends the way I think it's going to end, they need to keep this team looking strong still. So, brief story. Cash in. He's like, I'm going to cash in onto your face. But then it always comes at like the end of a match to be like, I will not cash in. Which I don't see anything wrong with that. But don't try and come and be like, I am the honorable man. I will cash in. I'm not going to sneak up from behind. I'm like, yeah, you're not sneaking up from behind. But it's still the end of a match. You know? It would be cool if you were like, I want to cash it in next week. You know? Like, as my match. That would be better. That would be a bit more brawny. But, Braun Strowman. But they have... Braun Strowman came in and to cash in on Roman like a week after SummerSlam. Then the Shield came out and protected Roman. They did a triple powerbomb through the announce desk. And then this kind of, the payback was kind of like Braun Strowman teaming up with Dolph and Drew. Which is interesting, and now they apparently call his Dogs of War, which is a really stupid name. I'm not going to lie. I don't think they should give them a name. Like, I think he said, they're my Dogs of War. I thought they meant like, that's what they are. Like, not that's what I'm calling them. That is their tag team name. No, that's stupid. Don't give them a name. Anyways, yeah, but I think Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre are definitely going to win this match. I don't think it would hurt for Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose to win. I think it would boost them more, but I think it would really hurt Dolph and Drew to lose. Yeah, definitely. So I think they should win. And I don't think they should win by nefarious means. I think they should somehow try like the divide and conquer thing, or maybe like Braun's music hits or something like that. And then they hit the... I think what they should do is if they do win, they should pin Seth. Because Seth is already Intercontinental Champion. It would boost them. And I don't think it would do much to hurt Seth because he's already won the Intercontinental Championship back from Dolph. And it would almost look like a double team scenario. But I don't think they should do it to Dean because Dean needs momentum because he's just got back. Okay, so next match. Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella versus The Miz and Maurice. I'm kind of torn on this match. I'm not really going to give much of a summary about what's happening here. I don't think this match is needed, honestly. I like Daniel Bryan with Brie Bella. I don't hate the Bellas. I don't think they need to be shoved down our throat all the time. And it's kind of irritating how they come back to be put over by new talent, that like the Riot Squad and stuff. I don't like that. And I think Brie Bella has made some severe botches, but I don't hate them. I don't think like they're terrible. WWE is just shoving them down our throats, like Roman Reigns. Like I don't like that Roman Reigns is shoved down our throats, but he's Universal Champion now, and like I'll probably want him to win more than Braun. I know that's random, but I think he's a decent worker. I think Brie Bella's not really a decent worker, but she's with Daniel Bryan. It makes it good. This match, I'm not even sure. Hey, I think Daniel Bryan should win. Daniel Bryan's team should win. Who do I think is gonna win? I don't really have much to say about it because I don't think this match helps this feud at all. Like at all. Miz won at SummerSlam through dirty means. So I feel like he should try again, and then Daniel Bryan catches it this time. Oh no, what will probably end up happening is Miz will probably end up, I think Miz and Maurice are gonna win, but it's gonna be a case of like Daniel Bryan gets so upset at the Miz or whatever, and then Miz like dodges out of the way, and Daniel hits Brie, and Brie gets knocked down, and Daniel feels really bad, and Miz like hits like a skull crushing finale or a roll up or something like that. That's what I think is gonna win. In terms of like long-term repercussions of this match, I don't really see many, if I'm honest. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of meh about that match. Next match, the Raw Women's Championship, Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss. So Ronda Rousey's gonna win. Next match, honestly, like I don't really know what to say about this match, this Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss, because I honestly thought it was gonna be like an okay match. Alexa Bliss, I think she's a pretty decent wrestler. She's tiny, sure, but they somehow managed to find some way to make her beat Nia Jax. I don't know. Ronda Rousey's gonna win. The whole story about this is that like Ronda's ribs are now bruised, so they're trying to like make her look a bit weaker, so that she's at the level of Alexa Bliss, and I don't like that. I like that they're making her like power through the roster, not power through the roster, but like make her feel like she's like this really strong wrestler, whatever. But I do also think that they shouldn't do that at the expense of other wrestlers, because now like Alexa Bliss looks like a bit of a fool. Like as much as Alexa Bliss was like this heel, this dastardly heel, she was also a pretty decent wrestler in my opinion, and got the job done. And she wasn't always just like the sneaky, like she's able to get stuff done in the ring. She got a cool moveset and things like that. But I honestly think Ronda's gonna win. I foresee maybe a little bit of interference from Mickie James and Alicia Fox, but I feel like Natalya would probably take them out. I don't foresee Natalya turning heel here and taking out Ronda. They should build towards that. That'd be really cool. But yeah, Ronda's gonna win 100%. 100%. Next match, the SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. So this match I'm really looking forward to. The whole like story behind this match is quite funny because the like they tried to turn Becky Lynch heel, and then everyone was like, Becky. So like it didn't work. I think Road Dogg was like, this is the story. It's not the story we're trying to tell, or whatever. Like she must be heel. Some nonsense like that. That's the story you want, but not the one we're telling, or something like that. I don't know, which is really silly. But now they're like semi-turned her into like a tweener, like a badass face almost, but still more heel in comparison to Charlotte. Like in last episode of SmackDown, they had Charlotte act the baby-facest way, if that's the word, babiest face that I've ever seen her act in my life. She was like it was so blatantly obvious, at least to me. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, like the extra attention. They were like, you must interact with the crowd more than you normally do, way more than you normally do. Before the match, after the match, she was high-fiving the crowd, and she was like hugging people, and then she was like selfie with the crowd. Obviously, like that was intentional because that's to introduce Becky there. But like the other stuff, like it just seemed like they were like, we're gonna make Charlotte look like the most likable, just wants to be with the crowd, which actually makes her more bland to me. I don't know. And then Becky appears and just takes her out wearing black, a black wig or a brown wig or whatever it was, and then takes her out with her this armor, and then everyone was like, "Woo, Becky!" So it didn't really work. I think it worked a little bit. I think now people have a bit more sympathy for Charlotte, but they're still super behind Becky. Becky's really over. I want Becky Lynch to win, and that's my prediction. My prediction is Becky Lynch is going to win. I know that Charlotte won at SummerSlam, and just like she's only had the title now for like 4 weeks, but I think it's Becky Lynch's time, or Charlotte wins by a sneaky means, or Becky gets like DQ'd or something like that. But my prediction is that Becky Lynch is going to win. That's what I want to happen. The WWE Championship match, AJ Styles versus Mojo. This feud is great. This feud is awesome. I love it. At first, I was like, I was listening to a Wrestle Talk, I think it's Wrestle Talk, yeah, video discussion where they were talking about how AJ Styles' feuds and championship matches and stuff, not the matches, but the feuds, seem like mid-card feuds. It's almost like the Universal Championship is the main event championship, and then the WWE Championship is the mid-card championship. Like, what was it? Was it at Extreme Rules? Yeah, Extreme Rules, Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler were the main event match, and then Rusev and AJ Styles weren't. Strange. Very strange. But yeah, they do feel like mid-card feuds, almost like randomly thrown together. But at the same time, this feud has been elevated. I love it. This SmackDown is just doing so much better at the moment to me. The Raw Tag Team Championship stuff is just thrown together, in my opinion. The only like real storyline that's going on Raw at the moment is the Ronda Rousey one to a degree, which is very weak in my opinion. They're literally investing all their time in growing Ronda Rousey as in the women's division, and not growing their massive talent. They've got Sasha Banks, they've got Bayley, they've got Ember Moon, and instead they just have Nikki Bella beat the Riot Squad. It's very weird. Versus SmackDown, which has like an awesome SmackDown Women's Championship feud, a great tag team action every week with these tournaments and stuff. Makes the SmackDown tag team division very competitive. That's the vibe I get. Versus the Raw Tag Team Championship, which is trying to be more based on character. I feel like the SmackDown Tag Team Championship is more based on competition, which I really like. I think that's really, really good. And then the WWE Championship. I know there's no real United States Championship. I know, yeah. Oh, I've messed out one match. I'll go back to it. I know there's no United States Championship match, but still, SmackDown, yeah, I think they got it going on. But basically, yeah, so this feud, super personal. Mojo going off at AJ Styles about his family and stuff, and he needs to go home and spend time with his family and things. And then last week, he did like a children's storybook reading called Night Night AJ, which I loved. I thought that was an awesome promo. I agree with some people that are saying it's not like a go home show promo or go home show segment. It probably would have worked better last week, but I still thought it was awesome. Some people are like, this is the weirdest thing, like it's so bad, it made the feud more comical, and I thought it was really good. It fueled this like creepy aspect of Samoa Joe's character, which I really, really liked. And yeah, I think AJ Styles is still gonna win though. I do think that they're building up AJ to be the person that a lot of other wrestling fans and stuff agree he's gonna be the one that beats CM Punk's title reign. I wouldn't be upset if he lost to Samoa Joe. I think Samoa Joe would make an awesome champion, but I do think that AJ Styles is still gonna win this. And then I left out one match. We have 2 matches to go, and that's Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton in a Hell in a Cell match. Ironic that I left it out because it kind of doesn't have to be. I love Jeff Hardy. He's 100% in my top 5 wrestlers of all time, purely because of his previous performances when I was younger though. Shame, can this man just go have a nap? Like, he looks so tired, so battered, and just needs to have a sleep, you know? Tell Jeff it's okay, he can go rest. Yeah, I don't really care much for this feud. I think it's going to be an awesome match, but I think Jeff is going to do something really, really unnecessary and do a swanton bomb off the Hell in a Cell. I hope he doesn't, but it would be cool, but I hope he doesn't. Jeff, you don't need to, dog. You've done ridiculous stuff. If anything, swanton bombing off a Hell in a Cell is probably like child's play to compare to some of the stuff you did. Like, you did a swanton bomb off of like what am I trying to say? It wasn't off the Tron, but it was like equivalent of the stage lighting or something like that. You don't need to do a Hell in a Cell Swanton Bomb. But yeah, I want Jeff to win, but I actually think it would be better if Randy Orton wins. Scrap that. Randy Orton needs to win because that'll be better for his character, and then he can move on to taking out somebody else. Who could he take out? I don't know, but he needs to like take out another big baby face, and then Jeff can go take a nap. Last match, WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns, the champion, taking on Braun Strowman. With Mick Foley as the special guest referee, which I don't know what the purpose of that. It's like paying homage, I think, more so than anything else. I don't think it's gonna really fulfill much of a story element to it. Maybe, who knows? Maybe Roman Reigns or Braun Strowman will throw Roman Reigns off the Hell in a Cell. Who knows? Maybe. Or maybe Mick Foley will pull out like the thumbtacks. That will be wild. If they do that, that will make this match cool. Like, I don't like that kind of stuff in matches, but it'll be a really cool throwback to the original match. Like I said earlier, I kind of want Roman to win more. I feel like turning Braun heel wasn't a good move. I think turning Braun heel worked better than Becky Lynch being turned heel, just because they've aligned him with. It was like throwing it down our faces. Like, we're making Braun act like a heel. We're gonna align him with Dolph and Drew. Dolph and Drew. We're gonna make him do heely things, like power slamming, trying to power slam or triple power bomb Finn Balor onto steel steps. And on the other side, we're going to pair Roman with the Shield, and they're super over, so that'll work. And it sort of has, in the case that I feel like people have become, if anything, a little apathetic towards Braun. I feel like heel Braun isn't really perceived as a heel, but he's not perceived as a face. He's kind of perceived with confusion. And Roman's still perceived very much down the middle. I think more down the middle than he has been before. Before, I think he was like 70-30. 70% boos, 30% cheers maybe. I think now he's maybe like 55 boos, 45 cheers. I don't mind Roman anymore, to be honest. I'm just glad that he's finally got the belt and we can stop with this. If anything, I dislike the feud with Brock Lesnar more, and I disliked Roman chasing the Universal title more than I dislike Roman. So my prediction is that Roman's going to win this. He's just got the title. They're definitely not going to take it off him just yet. But it's really bleak if Braun is one of the two guys that cash in the Universal title, cash in the Money in the Bank, and don't win the championship. Because Braun Strowman is a monster, and I feel like they've really gone a really weird direction with Braun Strowman that I don't particularly like. So I think Roman's going to win this. I'd like to see something cool, like a spear through the cage. They could definitely spear him through the cage. That would be awesome. Through the cell, I mean. Or Braun Strowman power slamming him on top of the steel cage. On top of the cell. But yeah, so that's kind of my discussions, my predictions. And I might do a discussions video post Hell in a Cell. But we'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And be sure to leave your discussion and prediction stuff about Hell in a Cell. You're looking forward to Hell in a Cell. What match are you most looking forward to? I'd say the match I'm most looking forward to is probably Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. And I'm also looking forward to New Day versus Rusev Day. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll check you guys later. Cheers.